Hey guys, what's up? It's IR Mr. Sir and I'm back. I know I haven't been making videos for a long time. That's due to school and the hard classes. So let's go ahead and look at today's tutorial. I'm going to be showing you guys some cool color correction techniques that you can use with the built-in stuff from After Effects CS5. So let's take a look at our stock footage first. You can see this is from videocopilot.net, a great place for learning After Effects. This is where I first learned how to do a lot of the stuff that I know how to do now. So I just pulled in some footage of this guy looking around in a black room, and to me it's kind of grainy. So you can see up here that there's like blue edges around them. It's sort of grainy. It's not very clear. So here's what it looked like when I finished color correcting it with color finesse that came with my After Effects package. And so it gives it a clearer look. As you can see, his face, it has better coloring. It's not as unsaturated as it was. So if I turn it off, you can see that it's like not normal looking. And here it gives you a better, clearer look at it. Makes it look like it's truly HD footage. I added a blue tint to it just to make it look sort of coolish. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this here. So first I imported my footage into a new composition, obviously. Now I went to Effect, Synthetic Aperture, Color Finesse 3. And pretty much here's your simple controls. But what I did was pretty much I messed with the curves over here. It's pretty much the same as the curves that you get from the regular After Effects. This one you just get to do some more stuff with it. So this one I just added a quick contrast to it, so I brought down the blacks some and then brought up the highlights a little bit, not too much. Then I started working with these. So red I brought down some because I noticed it looked a little bit saturated, like oversaturated. I brought up the blue a little bit to bring in the darkness, and brought up some green, and to counter that I brought up the red just a little bit more, just like that, so it gives them a normal looking face. So it has normal colors. It looks more realistic compared to this. So as you can see there, these I'll get to once I open up the full interface. So you can come up here, it'll say Color Finesse 3 full interface, and then it'll load up the actual interface. And here normally you'll see it like this in the beginning. This is what it'll look like. So for me, I always like to look at the split source so you can see the difference between the two. Here's the pre-corrected and here's post-corrected. And so over here you have all of your histograms and curves, and you can see the different parameters that you have set. I like to go into gallery sometimes and look for the different presets that you can use, like bleach bypass. That's good for like if you've ever seen Terminator Salvation, it's the color correction theme through that is pretty much a bleach bypass. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start tweaking these a little bit. This controls our master controls over here, so I can move this up and down. Like if I brighten up the gamma a little bit, it brings a little more brightness to it, just so it doesn't look as dark. Just bring it up a little bit right there. And here, let's reset this here. I want to bring up highlights, so just bring up the gamma on the highlights. Looks a little better. Um, I want to go into my curves mode, and you can see here that all this stuff is from what I had in my After Effects curves over here. And so all these corresponded from what I did in After Effects, so that transfers over. And then I have my levels, input and output. I'm not going to mess with those right now. You even have secondary, and what this allows you to do is it allows you to choose a certain color or piece of the footage that you want to correct, so it changes just that color and not any other color, but I'm not going to be doing that right now. Hue offsets, there it is. Okay, so you have your color wheels or offset wheels, whatever you want to call them. Here you can start tweaking it a little bit more, sort of like curves, but it gives you another aspect to it. So you can start changing the color of the shadows and stuff here, and it also affects your curves once you go into there. So that's pretty cool. And then change the midtones here a little bit. I want to give it sort of a bluish color, bluish purplish color. And then the highlights, I'm going to change back to here, over here. And that way it makes it look a little bit better. Midtone's a little bluer right there. So now I gave them the bluish tint that I wanted. And there you can see that it has been color corrected compared to this, and if I move this you can see the difference between the areas that were color corrected and that weren't. So you can pretty much really tell the obvious difference that happened between these two. And so once you're done correcting in here, you just click OK, and then it'll bring you back to After Effects and it'll automatically update your effects. And so you can see here that it updated my midtones and everything here. Left everything the same, and if I go back into my full interface I can actually save it as a preset. And then if I turn this off here, you can see the difference completely. It looks way better. It's a lot more clear than it was in this one, and that bluish tint gave it a little more cool looking color instead of just that bland color. And so that was my tutorial on basic color correction in After Effects. Any requests that might come up, I'll be happy to try and figure out or do a tutorial on whatever you guys ask. Just leave a comment on my channel, subscribe, and thanks for watching. I am Mr. Sir, out.